My name is Mårten Bokedal. I'm a product strategy director at Optimizely. We can see after the pandemic that a lot of the physical interactions have become digital. So more or less every business is today digital. So you used to be able to look at people's expressions in face to face when you met them. Now we have to adapt to a new kind of digital body language. So, for us to be able to actually serve the customers, we have to read their body language to be able to understand the intent, to create good experiences, but also to remove friction along the customer journey. Everyone needs to understand that to be able to, look at your customers in a digital way, you also have to invest more in data. So by investing in data, you'll collect more and more information about your customers and have better understanding of what that behavior is actually triggering for something that you can do. Because just more or less understanding and having the data is not going to deliver any value unless you're actually also changing something in terms of maybe automation or actually personalization. One thing is, of course, the big data problem, collecting enough data. The second thing is to actually be able to understand the intent of that data. I think that the third kind of problem we're going to see is privacy. And it's actually becoming more harder and harder to actually collect data. We have rules and regulations. So there's got to be a fine balance between actually getting the customer data, getting them to opt in for your data, getting you to understand what that data means and what the intent is, so that you can actually deliver an experience, but also that you more or less are doing with concerns of the individual's privacy as well. All depends on, of course, what kind of business that you are. It is good to have the voice of the customers and really also asking the customers what they're doing in a way, and you can do that in small pieces, because it really tells them what the customers are thinking about your brand. It's also quite easy to then go into segments and see what are their opinions. But I think you always need to validate, because this one thing we learned is that customers are not always doing what they're saying that they're doing. So it's super important to find that balance, but exactly how that balance is, it's a little bit up to every company and depending on what you actually need the data back from as well. The one thing that we learned this year, and actually maybe the last 2 years, is everything changes so fast now, and we cannot predict really what is going to happen. We've just been in a pandemic. We haven't been coming out of a pandemic in a modern time, and we don't know what's really going to happen there. By this time we're doing that now, we're seeing a war in the Ukraine, and we're seeing a gas shortage supply. We see energy crisis. We see that probably stocks in some times of food will not be there. The only thing that we know is that we can't really foresee in the future, but everything changes very fast. And one learning from that is that companies need to be very much more agile today and look for 6 months to 12 months ahead instead of 5 years plans. And that's something companies in general or organizations just need to adapt to as well.